Hi, it's Seta here. This time I have prepared a slightly different tutorial than usual because it will cover my asset drag-and-drop volumes. Thanks to it, you can set up ready-made lighting and post-processing on your scene in just a few seconds. And I have noticed that some of you have trouble using it. So let's get started. Here we have a simple scene and we want to set up lighting on it using drag-and-drop volume. But before we do that, we first need to perform a few steps. First, we must disable or remove the directional light that is on the scene, because Unity does not support two directional lights generating shadow, and the intensity of the directional light might be too high relative to the exposure in the volumes, which will result in an overlight bright screen. Next, if you already have a global volume in your scene, it is also worth removing it. The next step is enable volumetric clouds. To do this, click Edit, Project Settings, Quality, HDRP, and enable volumetric clouds. Each of my volumes also includes a version using the cloud layer because they have less impact on performance than volumetric clouds. But it's up to you which you want to use. Since we are already in project settings, it is also worth enable screen space global illumination, and it will give us a quick preview of global lighting. Of course, you can later disable these options and normally bake the scene using light maps or adaptive prop volume. Now we can move on to our scene and add first prefab. To do this, in the project window, select Twisted Image, Drag and Drop Volumes, Prefab, and then drag and drop the prefab into the scene. This will give us a ready-made lighting. If we want to change the position of the sun, we can do it by first expanding our prefab and then select directional light. Now we can freely rotate it to achieve the desired effect. It is the best to use only Y-axis for this, as it does not change the exposure in the scene. However, if we want to raise the sun's position and use X-axis, we must adjust the exposure. To do this, go to the global volume and find the exposure. Using it, you can adjust brightness of the scene. We will also use these options if, from the start, our scene is too bright, for example, when we create a snowy environment. As I mentioned before, each volume also has options to enable standard cloud layer. To do this, first disable volumetric clouds, then select cloud layer, and in visual environment, enable background clouds. Now just add a reflection prop to scene and we have ready lighting. To speed up the selection of appropriate volume even more, in the last update I have also added a tool that allows you to switch volumes in the scene with a single click. To use it, simply select Tools, Seta, Volume Switcher. A new window will open. At the very top we have a guide on the steps that we already complete, and below, by clicking on the name of the volume, you can immediately place it in the scene. This is a simpler and faster way than manually dragging, dropping and removing previous volumes. And now few more tips. If after moving the sun position our clouds cover it, we can fix this by going to global volume and then selecting shape offset or rotation in cloud layer to adjust their position. Asset also includes a small demo scene where you can test these volumes. However, Unity sometimes have trouble correctly loading the diffusion profile, resulting in a pink-purple tint on models. To fix this, simply click on any models and in the material options, click the Fix button. If you want to bake the scene instead of using SSGI, which unfortunately impact performance, you just need to disable it in the options or directly in the volume. And that's all for this tutorial. I hope that now you will be able to achieve ready-made lighting in just a few seconds without any problems. Thanks for watching and until next time, see ya.